Welcome into Dallas Mavericks Today. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and fallout continues after the exit of Donnie Nelson and perhaps the firing of Donnie Nelson. We will talk about more about Donnie specifically in a minute, but Luka Doncic has now spoken on the former GM's exit within the organization. He, of course, is in Slovenia gearing up for the Olympic qualifiers, trying to help Slovenia get to the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. Good luck to those boys, by the way, out there. He did say that it was difficult to see Donnie Nelson go, and let's be honest, let's call this what it is. The Mavs front office, it's in flux right now. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They got to figure things out, and they got to figure things out quickly. Here's what Luka had to say in further detail. Quote, "It was kind of tough to me. I really like Donnie. I've known him since I was a kid, and he was the one that drafted me. It was tough for me seeing that, but I'm not the one making decisions there." That last sentence, not making decisions there, I don't love how that sounds. And what that sounds to me, too, is Luka Doncic was out of the loop. He was not made aware ahead of time, like, hey, we're going to make a change with our general manager. I'm not saying Mark Cuban owes Luka Doncic everything and he should tell him everything that's going on, but if you want to keep the guy happy, maybe inform the kid that you're making a change at general manager. To me, when you have a guy like Luka Doncic who's this talented and this productive and far and away your best player, he should have some control of what's going on within the organization. He should at least be in the loop of what's going on in the organization. What have we said for years about LeBron? Is that, what do they call him, GM LeBron? I'm not saying Luka's to that level, but at least keep him in the loop with what's happening. Keep the kid happy. He obviously had a good relationship with Donnie Nelson. A heads up would have at least been a nice thing. I'll be honest, I think things are trending poorly right now for the Mavs. That doesn't mean that can't change. That doesn't mean they can't get a GM in here that can stabilize everything that is going on. But Mark Cuban is flying like, what's the phrase? Like he's, his chicken, chicken with the head cut off, whatever the phrase is. He's not in control right now is what I'm trying to say. He's got to get this thing figured out very, very quickly. Be honest with me. What is your level of concern with the future of the organization? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being, this is no big deal. The Mavs are going to win titles for the next decade. 10 being, I'm kind of panicking right now. Luka may not even come back to Dallas. I don't think we're at that level. But I'm at like a 7. I've got serious concern here. The Mavericks need to stabilize their front office in a very quick hurry. Now, we are sponsored by the Newsbreak app. Been telling you guys about this app for the past couple of days. And, hey, newspapers, they're a thing of the past. If you want to keep up with local news in your area, sports, politics, pop culture, download the app today at chatsports.com/MavsNB. And we're having a competition with the Lakers report for most downloads using their specific URL. Mavs, of course, chatsports.com/MavsNB. The Lakers are doubling us right now, 6-3. So we got to catch up. That link is in the comments. It's in the description. Support the show by plugging that link into your phone in Safari, Google Chrome, whichever you use. Chatsports.com/MavsNB. Once you search that, it'll redirect you to your app store on your mobile phone, and you can download Newsbreak right there, enjoy the app, and of course, find more videos from us here at Dallas Mavericks Today on Newsbreak. More fallout from the Donnie Nelson exit as The Athletic dropped another article just in the past hour or so saying kind of what we already knew, but confirming, it sounds like, Mark Cuban fired Donnie Nelson. That is what happened here after a, quote, stalemate between the two. So what was the root of this? Nelson basically went to Cuban and said, Bob Voulgaris has crossed the line of what his role within this organization has been, and I guess him and Cuban disagreed, and Cuban ultimately fired Donnie Nelson. As far as Voulgaris, there was chatter that he's going to get let go as well. Hasn't officially been yet, but his contract does expire this summer. Get Poker Bob the hell out of Dallas. I'm done with this guy. He's playing high-stakes poker 3 years ago, and he's running your front office. He was brought in for analytics, not to decide who this team's trading for, how the rotations work, how you approach the draft, and those type of things. Get Poker Bob out of there. Luka doesn't like him. Donnie and him clearly weren't on the same page. You already got rid of Donnie Nelson. Now it's time to get rid of Poker Bob as well, as I have dubbed him that nickname. Hopefully he is no longer a part of this organization for the foreseeable future. Here's what The Athletic said in their article today. Quote, while the organization said that in its release that Nelson and the Mavericks had, quote, agreed to part ways, a source close to the situation said Nelson was fired on Sunday, which is now 4 days ago. He had spent, of course, 24 years working within the organization, which is, by the way, longer than Mark Cuban has even owned the team. That's how long Donnie Nelson has been a staple within the Mavericks organization. And hey, listen, man, I'm not saying they should have kept Donnie Nelson. I'm not saying this and that. I'm just saying Poker Bob has no part in this front office, in my opinion. He cannot be there any longer. Get rid of him. Get a fresh GM in there, and let's go attack free agency in this offseason and retool this roster. Subscribe to Dallas Mavericks Today. We have the latest Mavs news, rumors, free agency coverage as well. We'll have some free agency rumors on tap tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. You can share that link with a friend. And hey, you guys have probably noticed I've been doing a lot of videos for you guys, and I want to do a lot more. So subscribe. Don't miss any of our Mavericks coverage this offseason. Let's talk GM candidates now. We got a couple on today's show. Michael Finley, who is, of course, within the organization already, he has emerged as a candidate, according to Marc Stein of the New York Times. He's been tapped into the Mavs organization for a while, so I trust what he says. Currently serves as the Mavericks VP of basketball operations, Finley does. So in terms of internal candidates, this is the most logical choice, right? If you're going to stay within the organization, promoting Michael Finley makes the most sense. He knows the organization. He played for this organization for 9 seasons, as we'll throw the stats up for you guys. He was a great player in Dallas, and he came back after he finished his playing career with a couple of other teams and has served a variety of roles within the Mavericks franchise and has worked his way up to be a legit front office member, which, by the way, he interviewed for the Bulls general manager job just last year. So it's not like he's only highly thought of within the Mavs organization. He's got a good reputation across the NBA. He's got GM in his future. The question is the future now? Is the future today for the Dallas Mavericks? We'll have to wait and see. I certainly expect him to be heavily considered, and as Marc Stein reports, he is someone that is a candidate right now. Now, type your votes for me. Should the Mavs promote Michael Finley to the GM role? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm fine with it. I think they should do a national search, which it sounds like they are going to. They hired that search firm on Wednesday, so I think they should do their due diligence. But if ultimately you come to the conclusion that Finley's your best candidate, I'm totally down with that. Y for yes, N for no. Get your votes in on Finley as the next GM. One more candidate I wanted to talk about, and then we'll sign off on Dallas Mavericks Today. How about Masai Ujiri as general manager? This would be an interesting one. This is obviously a guy that you should at least take a look at, because what he has done for the Raptors is pretty unprecedented for the franchise in Canada. He helped lead them to a title, obviously. His contract is actually up in Toronto, and the Raptors are kind of entering rebuilding mode. Maybe he wants a fresh start with a team that already has a superstar like Luka Doncic. I think Masai Ujiri is a stud. I think he's proven that he can create a player development factory. That's what he's done in Toronto. Think about the guys he's developed. Fred VanVleet, Siakam. I think Lowry and DeRozan became much better players under his leadership. Obviously, Nick Nurse and a lot of the Dwayne Casey before that, those coaches deserve credit for what that franchise was able to do. But Ujiri was the constant during that entire run where they went to 7 straight playoff appearances from 2013 to 2020. Missed the playoffs this year for the first time under his leadership, but again, they're kind of entering that rebuild. Lowry's really the only vet left from that title run from a couple of years ago, so keep that in mind as well. I'm a big fan of his. I think if you're going to look at some external candidates, he would probably top my list, and hey, timing's everything. With him being a free agent, if you will, in terms of front office executives, he's available, so we'll see if Toronto brings him back or what happens in the future, but I think Masai Ujiri is a guy I would take a serious look at. So should the Mavs hire him? Type H for hire, type D for don't. Hey, if you can get Masai Ujiri, I'm definitely down with that. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll be back tomorrow with another video just for you guys.